So we've been playing around with Football Manager 2022 for a few days now, and we've noticed something which is a little bit strange. Some of the most elite Wonderkids in the game can actually be bought for a pretty fair price. Hello and welcome back to FMSCOUT. My name is Rhys, and coming up on today's show, we're going to show you our team of 11 elite Wonderkids that are just a lot cheaper than we thought they were going to be. Do smash a like on the video if you're enjoying FM22 at the moment. Hit subscribe if you are new, and let me get straight into it and start off with the goalkeeper. Martin van der Voort, if that's how you pronounce it, is topping all of our goalkeeping Wonderkid kind of lists behind the scenes at the moment. I just managed to pick him up for about 10 million quid in this save here. He's going to be world class, okay? So 10 million quid for one of the best Wonderkid goalkeepers in the game. That's pretty surprising in itself, right? Let's move on to the defenders. So at right back, we've gone for Caligari. He's a Brazilian player, and you can see at 19 years old, he's already looking like a decent right back as is. Acceleration of 15, natural fitness, pace and stamina all at 14. Anticipation at 14 as well, a really key stat for fullbacks in my opinion. But tackling at 14 as well. I mean, he's really good. 15 dribbling as well at 19 years old. Not only can he play right back, but he can play right wing back and defensive and centre midfield as well. He's got a balanced personality, really nice looking pie chart thing, and amongst other things is a fairly consistent performer, which you know by now I think is obviously an absolute key stat to have for my players. And he's available at 23 million-ish, you can see on the left hand side of the screen here, which is decent, right? For a really good right back who's only 19. Left back, we've gone for Adrian Truffert. Now, there were quite a few left backs I could have chosen from, to be honest. All are on the similar kind of level, but they got the key stats you need, right? So acceleration, stamina, tackling, pace, etc. They're not going to be the most gifted footballers in the world technically, but they do a job, right? They do that very specific job, the fullback job essentially. Again, a fairly consistent performer. You can get him for around 3 million quid, right? So dirt cheap, really. Fancy a Wonderkid centre back from Portugal for 20 million quid? Well, let me introduce you to Gonzalo Inachao. But look at his stats here. You can see he's probably going to be the next Ruben Diaz, right? Strength, natural fitness, balance, leadership, positioning, concentration, composure, anticipation, aggression, marking and heading, all 14 or above at the age of 19. Is pretty sick. He's left-footed, which is always very useful. His attribute graph looks quite cool, and again my scout is telling me he's a consistent performer, not just a fairly consistent performer, but a consistent performer. Swing on over to the left and you can see that the transfer value is between 19.75 and 24 million in this particular save. Partnering our Portuguese friend in the centre of defence is Andrea Caboni. Look at those stats again for a 20-year-old, 14 tackling, 14 marking and 15 heading. He's got it where it counts, positioning, strength, etc., bravery, anticipation, concentration, very important. Alex Ferguson used to say to his players, apparently defenders, before every game, concentration, concentration, concentration. Again, left-footed, but he's reasonable with his right foot as well. More of a kind of no-nonsense defender by the look of his attribute graph here. Guess what? Another fairly consistent performer according to my scout, among other pros. But how much is he going to cost? Get this, between 5 and 7 million. These guys are such good value, it's unreal. We're kind of going for a 4-4-2, right? So we've got 4 attackers, 4 defenders, and 2 strikers. First and the most defensive of our midfielders in the central position, obviously, is Unai Venkado. And again, I apologise if I pronounced that name wrong, but look at his stats. Marking 14, first touch 14. This guy's only 20 years old. Teamwork 14, pace 14, as well as natural fitness 15 and work rate 15. His media description here in this save is Wonderkid, as with most of the players on this list today in our 11. Very comfortable in the centre of the park and in the defensive part as well of the pitch. His attribute graph here does highlight the fact that he is quite short, 5'9", and with a jump in reach of 8, isn't going to be someone who can really trust to maybe move back and step back into that centre defensive role, for example, with a very strong right foot and a reasonable left foot, and a scout report that tells me again he's a fairly consistent performer, as well as displaying a fairly determined attitude and working really hard for the team. Looking at his price, 20 million. 20 million. Ryan Gravenbach then partners him in the centre of the midfield. He's our creative force, and at 19 years old, he's only going to get better, isn't he? Again, media description of Wonderkid, passing 14, teamwork 14. I'm not even going to talk about all these 14s and 15s he's got here, because he's got them everywhere. Extremely comfortable anywhere in the middle of the pitch, but can play anywhere in midfield, essentially. Very strong right foot and a reasonable left foot. And let's head on over to the scout report, and yep, you guessed it, a fairly consistent performer yet again. This guy will cost you us a little bit more, 42 to 50 million, but that's good value, right? That's good value for someone with these kind of stats at this kind of age. Moving on to our front four then, and we've got Jamal Musiala popping up in a lot of our Wonderkids lists, and for good reason, especially on this save here. You can see all those greens he's got at 18 years old. Imagine what he's going to be like when he's like 26, right? He's going to be sick. Very, very versatile, an extremely exciting player. If we look at his attribute graph, you can see already at 18, he is absolutely doing bits. He can use both feet, which is just, this guy is just so good, right? Both feet. Looking at his scout report as well, a consistent performer, spirited individual. And then if we zoom on over to the left, he's going to cost you between 38 and 48 million pounds. This guy's going to be world class, and you don't even have to pay 50 million quid for him. Unbelievable. Joining him in attacking midfield is Ander Baron-Texer. Been around for a few years, I think, in Football Manager. My memory isn't the best, but I remember this guy's name because it's quite unique, right? Acceleration, agility, balance, all 14. Look how good he is physically, right? And you can see he's kind of one of those players who wants to play out on the wing, maybe cut inside and do some inside forward business. Inverted winger here, he's described as a media description of Wonderkid. Look at that, both wings. Fullback, attacking midfield, he doesn't mind. Striker, he'll play anywhere. Very strong with both feet, well, fairly strong with his left and very strong with his right. And where is it? There it is. There's the consistent performer. He possesses a fair amount of pace as well, has a good understanding of the English language, in case that's something you need. He'd likely gain a work permit for England as well, would adapt well to living in another country. Scooting on over to the left, how much is he going to cost you? 50 million quid. A snip. Moving on to our front two next, and we just couldn't not put Anzu Fatty in this list. We know about him, we've heard his name, we've seen him play before for Barcelona, we've probably bought him in Football Manager already before in the past. I know I certainly have, but that doesn't change the fact that he's a sick talent in the game this year. Look at that attribute graph. Not many things in the world are sexier than that. Very happy playing as striker, right midfield, left midfield, and my scout absolutely loves him. Of course, he does. Fairly consistent performer, currently an international for his country, could adapt well to living in another country, possesses great pace, he's a spirited individual. The superlatives do not stop for this guy. But how much is he going to cost? About 50 million again. About 50 million again for Anzu Fatty, someone who's going to be world class. He's going to be an A+ signing here for my team, Chelsea. 50 million quid. It's obscene. It's obscene. Rodrigo next. He's 20 years old. He's fast. He's quick. He can finish. He's like a little superhero Brazilian pocket rocket. He's 5'9". Very similar to Fatty in terms of positions. Right, left wing, up front. It does not matter to him. Reasonable with his left foot. Very strong with his right foot. And where is it? Where's the Holy Grail? Is he a consistent performer? Please God, please God, please God. Yes, a fairly consistent performer here from Rodrigo. Spin on over to the left. How much is he going to cost us? About 45 million quid. That's what I'm talking about. All the guys in today's list, and you can see it here on screen now, the full 11. It's such good value for money on every single player. Some of them are going to be world Class. Very, very exciting. Do let us know in the comments below if you have signed or are going to sign any of these players. Do hit a like on the video if you've enjoyed it. Do hit subscribe if you are new. You can subscribe to my channel as well, which I have, which is called FM Wonderkids. I'll put that up there somewhere for your consideration. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon.